Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Vlogmas Day number 27. I am not filming anything for Vlogmas until almost 2:30 in the afternoon. The reason why is this morning I worked my butt off to get the kitchen all cleaned. Every dish is cleaned. Wanted to show you guys that it's clean before I make another mess. Now, I am going out to dinner with friends tonight, so this Vlogmas probably is not going to be very long, but we are going to go ahead and mix up the peppermint sugar cookie dough. We're going to get that mixed up at least, so maybe if I bake it tomorrow. We're also going to prep to can some beans. Those are going to be canned tomorrow. And I also want to decorate a tree today, but I don't know if I have time. I also filmed a long budget video that went up today, and I have to edit a grocery haul for tomorrow. So life is a little crazy busy. Mr. Snow Gardener is gone snow machining with his brother and his nephew, so he is living his best life, which makes me so happy. I was able to get stuff caught up in my office, and that is where I've been since about 10 o'clock this morning. So I was able to update all of our budgets and all of the things and stuff and get everything back in order. So I'm not sure what today is going to bring, but I promised you guys a vlog every day. And sometimes life is not that interesting. So it's, you know, the day after Christmas for me. Just getting things cleaned up is what feels so amazing. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a little bit. It's time to go to the bank and to get a chai tea. Now, this little girl right here, I've got to pick her up because she's a princess and she thinks she can't jump in the car. She just doesn't want to. We're headed to the bank, you guys. That's right. I got the Yorkies with me. We're going to go to the bank. We're going to go to the post office and we're going to go get a chai tea. I probably don't need one. That's going to be for this week, but that's okay, right? The earrings that I have in, if you guys notice them, they're earrings that Mr. Snow Gardener got for me from a jeweler where my wedding ring came from. He actually bought me these, a necklace and a bracelet. That was my Christmas present. Mr. Snow Gardener's main Christmas present was a minky blanket because my cousin bought me one this year and he was stealing mine, so I bought him one. But we are at the bank. I'm just going through the drive up. I am just depositing money, and then we'll head to the post office, get a chai tea, and then when we get home, we are going to start a canning project. I know, I'm just a glutton for punishment. So the bank is counting our cash. If you don't know this about me, I do have a budgeting channel and we are cash based. So we deal with a lot of cash. And so it is counting up. I have a feeling it's not going to like one of the dollar bills or something because it's going to spit it back out. Let's see what it doesn't like. That's why he doesn't like it. It's folded. Let's go ahead and deposit this one last dollar. Every dollar counts. That's one of my mottos on my budget. Every dollar, every penny. And so I have to put cash in to make up for what I spent on my credit card. I do use my rewards credit card so I can travel for free. And if you are in the budgeting community whatsoever, you know that a lot of financial people say not to use credit cards at all. And if you have a problem with credit cards and getting out of control, I agree. But if you can figure it out and you can use rewards cards, it is so nice because I was able to fly Shannon, Bridger, and I to Mexico in December for just fees and taxes. And I went and saw my friend Carol, I think for like 12 bucks. I flew from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Kentucky, and I plan on doing that this year as well. So the money is deposited, so now I can pay the card. A lot of people ask me how often I do that. It depends on what my schedule looks like. I certainly don't do it on a daily basis. I don't necessarily do it on a weekly basis. I just do it when I've got a chance or when I'm going to be running errands. I don't want to come out just to go to the bank, so you'll notice that I tend to do multiple errands at the same time. Not that my store or not that my town is that big, but still, if I go out, then I have more chances of spending money that I don't need to spend. I have no idea if we've got packages at the post office or not, but I'm going to go check. Hopefully I've got a couple more Christmas cards. I'll share them with you guys. I don't know how many Christmas cards I've got this year. I haven't counted, but it's still fun. I love getting Happy Mail. I love Christmas cards. And I'm so sad that it is a tradition that has kind of went away with the times, right? We just don't send Christmas cards like we used to. Like when my kids were little, I would send out a family Christmas letter to friends and family, and it would include what the kids were up to. It would include all kinds of stuff. And so it's kind of sad that that has went away. So if I can get a few cards in the mail and send some back, I really like it. And there's an ambulance coming this way, but don't worry, I'm not on the main road where the ambulance is anymore. So we'll run into the post office really quick. I will leave the camera rolling because I don't plan on being very long. We'll see what the puppies do. I don't expect them to do too much, but we'll see what they do. We'll have our puppy cam on. We do have some Christmas cards, but we're gonna wait until we get home to check them out. I also have a small, I forgot to start the car. I also have a small package from my friend Drew. He is a fellow YouTuber, a fellow budgeting YouTuber, and he is, sorry, somebody just tried to back into me. He is Ready Budget Go is what his channel is. So if you want to go check out his channel, he's a lot of fun. He's got some amazing products. Mr. Snow Gardener loves his products. And how come my music is playing? It's not supposed to play while I'm recording because that's coming from my phone. So I'm impressed that it's playing at the same time. Pentatonics, love Pentatonics. Still listening to Christmas music. Will be until I celebrate with my children, because I don't think Christmas is over until I get to spend it with my children. So like I said, we're gonna continue decorating. I am not gonna have time to decorate a Christmas tree today. My bedroom Christmas tree is the next one on the list. Or maybe Mr. Snow Gardener's hippo tree. We should probably get that done. Mr. Snow Gardener did get his hippo ornament this year. And Hallmark, I'm a little disappointed because it's the same ornament as 2018. It's just painted differently. And if you are collecting any sort of Hallmark ornaments that are a series, it's really disappointing to get the same ornament even if it is a different color. So a little bit of a thumbs down on Hallmark this year for that. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go get chai tea, get the puppies a treat, and I'll see you guys at home. All right, you guys, we are back to the house. We have got Happy Mail, and I just realized that both of my big pairs of scissors have went MIA. Actually, I know where they're at. They are in with the wrapping paper, yeah, from wrapping. And it makes me sad because I love my big scissors to open up envelopes. So we've got Happy Mail. Yes, we do. I just finally got my video, my budgeting video for today through the YouTube check process. Sometimes it takes a while. And of course, that's for copyright infringements, you know, content, all of that type of stuff. So we have got some Happy Mail here. We have got a few Christmas cards, a little package, and also, I believe, a YouTube membership for December for somebody that I subscribe to their channel. So let me open these up. Almost done. Would have been easier if I had the right scissors, but I didn't. These little ones, not so good for that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the package first. This is from my friend Drew. He had let me know that he was sending me something, but he wasn't sure if it would get here by Christmas. And I don't know when it got put in my post office box. I don't know if it was today or if it was, you know, Christmas Eve late. Because my post office, man, I tell you what, our post office is way too small. And when UPS and Amazon just redid their deal or whatever, UPS packages, we used to get all of our stuff from UPS delivered to our house. Now it gets delivered to the post office, and I have to go to the post office and pick it all up. And it depends on what type of, you know, they use, but I think the cheaper ones, so like Amazon and stuff like that. Oh goodness, we've got something fun. We've got something fun from my friend Drew. So let's go ahead and open this up right here. Let's take a look at it. I'm probably going to have to show this over on my budgeting channel as well. And so we do have a Christmas card from Drew, and it says warmest wishes. And Drew has the most beautiful handwriting ever. I mean, hashtag life goals. When I grow up, I want to have handwriting like Drew's. He said, hi Marlene, I waited to send this in hopes that your family would be back from your Mexico trip by the time this arrives. I wanted to share my fruit, what challenge? Fruit machine. And that's just me. He's got cursive. So fruit machine savings game with you. And I've included an extra one in a giveaway just as a thank you for being your authentic self always. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Drew. So I will be doing this over on my other channel for the giveaway, not on this one. And so Drew has created a fruit machine, and it's kind of like, you know, like you're at the casino pulling that arm. So let me show you guys really quick. If you want to be entered for this, be watching in my videos. I think I might do it on 10-Minute Monday. I think I might add it to 10-Minute Monday and do it as a giveaway. So a fruit machine, the print on this is amazing. And so you get to decide how much you're going to save. So you set up your pay table like you would, like a slot machine would. And there's also one where it tells you how much you save. How fun is that? I'm excited. Thank you, Drew. And so I've got a second one for a giveaway. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that's going to be on Monday, coming up very soon, because I want to get it done so I don't forget and if life doesn't get too busy. A huge thank you to Drew. I love Drew's games. And you know, I'll probably play this on 10-Minute Monday. All right, so there is that. And since we started out with a budgeting thing, let's go ahead and grab the other one that I know is budgeting. This is from Stuff and Budget. This is from Candy. And so this is the December Stuff and Budget. And so let's take a look and see what we've got in our freebie bag for being a member. How cute is this? Before I take it out, look at that little Christmas thing right there. How cute is that? Isn't that cute? And I didn't put my lights on. I hope you guys can see okay. There's a couple cards at the back. It says, you got this. It says, be consistent, Stuff and Budget, and it's laminated. Stuff and Budget 2026, the best is yet to come. And you can tell it's laminated because it's picking up all the light. And our challenge this time is 12 new chapters, 365 new chances. I like that. Thank you so much, Candy. Perfect. All right, now let's get down to the business of Christmas cards. I believe one of these is from a friend locally, but this one is out of Iowa. And this is to Bridger and I. So let's take a look. This envelope is super nice. Oh, look at that Santa. How cute is he? He's bejeweled. He's got the bejewels on there. He is so cute. It says, to Bridger and Marlene and family, 'tis the season for joy. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. XOXO, Tony Leland. And Tony used all of her glitter pins on here, so it's so beautiful. So pretty. I love it. Thank you, Tony. And then we have got one coming out of Texas. Let's see what we've got coming out of Texas, shall we? Athena, be nice to Zeus. Do you guys hear Zeus whining? It's because Athena's being mean to him. So this one says, merry and bright. Will you stop being a jerk, Athena? He just wants to share the bed and she's not having it. It says, may you and Mr. Snowgarter have a great Christmas. By the way, I am totally enjoying all of your challenges. I am so happy. The inside of the card says, wishing you a magical Christmas. Another wonderful challenge. And then we have got one out of Florida. And this is from our friend Chandra. So let's take a look and see what's in here. And oh, we got something. Oh, how cute is that? Okay. Oh, look at this card. It's a little gingerbread man. Look at that. How cute. And he's fuzzy. Liz, if you're watching this is a card for you. And it says on the inside, what does it say? Wishing you a Christmas full of hugs, smiles, and happiness. It says, hey, Marlene, have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Love, Chandra, 2025. And in here, there is a little note as well. It says, if you open on camera, please hide my address. You got it, girl. You got it. I did not show it at all, so we're good to go. And yeah, I try not to show anybody's addresses. And look at this cute little clip. A little pug, it looks like, with a little scarf and headband on. So thank you so much, Chandra. And this next card, this last one, I believe, like I said, is from a friend locally. I don't know for sure because I don't know her address, but let's take a look. Yes. So this says Fa La La La, and it is from my friend Marguerite. We used to work together in the school system. She was my daughter's second grade teacher as well as my son's. And so she says, Merry Christmas with many good wishes for the holiday season and the coming year, Marguerite and Jack. So Christmas cards, how exciting is that? All right, you guys, so we are canning crazy. That's right, we're canning crazy. And okay, so Chandra, look at this envelope that went with that. Look at you guys, and look on the inside. So I'm not showing her address, right? But look at on the inside. It's so cute. It matches him. He's all matchy-matchy. Look at, geez, we're very bougie with our envelopes. Okay, anyway, we are canning crazy. And I have wanted to can baked beans since I've started canning, and I have not. And I found a super easy recipe. So we're going to go can baked beans right now. That's right, everybody. Right now at 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay, everybody, here we are. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it would because I had to get some more canning jars. Now, I didn't have to go buy them or anything. I had to get underneath my house and get them. That's where I store my extra canning jars. So I got out canning jars to do baked beans, and tomorrow we're going to do black beans and pinto beans. We're going to go ahead and stock up the beans. The only beans that I've done before is black beans. So pinto beans and baked beans are both going to be new for me, and I'm so excited to get this done. I thought I had dehydrated onion, so I thought this was going to be a super, super easy recipe, but I have to chop some onion. So I'm going to go ahead and chop my onion, and then we'll start canning. Using a real tripod would help. I don't know how much of that you guys saw. I actually got this veggie chopper at a thrift store for a couple bucks. It's fabulous for canning and for so we're going to go ahead and start this recipe. It is a super easy recipe. I had this fresh onion that needed to be used up. I've got a little bit of dried onion, so I want to see which recipe we like better, and I've got some frozen onion if I need it as well. I got this recipe from Homesteading with the Zimmermans. I love their channel. She does amazing work. And so I've got it. I just wrote it down from her. I will go ahead and link her channel below. I have cleaned 7 pint jars, and that's because we are a small family. Normally it's just Bridger and I. So it's much easier to just go ahead and cook for the 2 of us. And then if we have extra people, we can do more than 1 jar. We are going to need our funnel, and I'm going to go ahead and put a ½ cup of beans in each jar. Now I have rinsed these beans and drained them, and of course with beans you've got to be careful of rocks and stuff because it does happen. So we're just going to put beans in each jar, and then I'll be right back. Now we're going to go ahead and put our onions in. Calls for a ¼ cup of onions, and so like I said, we're going to go ahead and do some of these with fresh onion. We're going to go ahead and do some with dehydrated onion, and we're going to see if we notice a difference, if we like one better than the other. I am hoping that we will like the dehydrated onions better just because they're easier, right? But I mean, truly cheaper wise, I'm not sure if a fresh onion would be the way to go or not. And so it looks like out of that 1 onion, I'm going to be able to get 5 jars with that 1 onion. I've got a little bit left, but that will be okay. We can set that aside and maybe add it to eggs or something. So then next, I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 jars. I've got a little bit of dehydrated onion, and it says 1/2 teaspoon of dehydrated. And so let me find a ½ teaspoon. I've got a ¼ teaspoon, so we'll just do it a couple times. And for space-wise, I could see this definitely being better. So there we go with the onions, and we'll see which one. And I will make sure and mark the lids so that I know which ones are which. And then we need some ketchup. Now, there's a lot of recipes that you don't use ketchup in, but one of the reasons why I decided to do this one is because it did use ketchup, which made it so easy. And that's what I have time for today, you guys. I have time for easy. I don't have time for a long recipe. And so we've got some ketchup that needs to be used up anyway. This is just Heinz ketchup. Now, of course, ideally, if you're home canning your products and stuff like that, you would be using your own home canned ketchup. I don't know if that's on my list to make. Not anytime soon, but it might be. So I'm going to go ahead and accidentally put twice as much ketchup in that jar as I'm supposed to. So, let's take out 1/4 cup of ketchup out of that jar. You guys, I'm here being real with you. I read the full recipe, and of course it is for a quart jar of beans, and that is 1/2 cup of ketchup, but we are not doing that size. So the good thing is I was able to fix my mistake. No big deal. I double checked my recipe, and now we're just fine. So 1/4 cup of ketchup into each of these, and I'm making a mess because that's what I do. I'm getting ketchup all over the place. I do have a sink of soapy water to try to make my life a little bit easier for cleanup. So let's get the right amount. Let's do 1/4 cup. I was thinking that 1/2 cup looked like a lot for that jar. Sometimes you should go with your instincts. Sometimes I wonder if I have instincts. 1/4 cup of this. How many of you guys have ever canned baked beans before? I'm not sure how many of you guys that are watching my channel actually have canned before. I know you guys know I've been doing it for a few years now, but I'm still new, obviously. I mean, I have canned very basic stuff. Salsa I learned from my grandma several years ago. I've done freezer jams and stuff like that, but nothing like this. So I'm so excited to try these. So excited. And the reviews on these were super good. And like I said, we've got easy ingredients where I had everything. I didn't have to go to the store and buy anything. And in my mind, that is a win-win. We're also going through the rest of this older ketchup that has been in the fridge for too long. So win there as well. And we'll be able to open up the new bottle that I just bought. And since my son moved out, we just are not using as much ketchup as we used to. I used to get ketchup from Sam's Club, but we just can't eat it fast enough. Kind of like ranch as well. We really don't buy store-bought ranch anymore just because we don't use it enough. We really don't. So let me open up this new ketchup. And I think we're going to be able to open up a new bottle of mustard too. Okay, 1/4 cup. We're almost there, you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Mr. Snow Gardener just got home from snow machining. I'm hopeful that my nephew is going to send me a little shot of Mr. Snow Gardener snow machining. And if he does, I will make sure that I add it into a Vlogmas. It probably won't be today's Vlogmas, but maybe tomorrow. And so let's try to get as much of this ketchup out of this older container as we can. Okay, that's pretty dang empty. We're calling that one good. We're going to go ahead and add some salt to this. And we're also going to add some mustard and some brown sugar, some vinegar. And I've got some water that is on the stovetop getting ready to boil or be close to it. It just needs to be really hot water. All right, so we've got ketchup and everything. Let's go ahead and do mustard. And mustard is supposed to be 1/4 teaspoon. And my husband, quite a while ago, dropped the mustard jar on the ground and it broke the lid, messed it all up. So we have been having this mustard out of this canning jar for quite some time. So it will be nice to get through this. And yes, this is going to use it all up, I do believe. This is probably not the most accurate way to measure this mustard, but hey, it'll be okay. Perfect, perfect. 7 jars. And you can do quart jars as well. If you're doing quart jars, you're just going to double the recipe because her recipe is actually 4 quart jars. So I just halved it. Okay, a little bit more mustard. And then we are going to get our salt. And I'm going to go ahead and use canning salt because I have it. But you do not have to use canning salt, but you want to stay away from iodized salt when you're canning. So make sure you stay away from that. And then we've got some vinegar. And how much vinegar do we need? It says a half of a teaspoon, and now I've got mustard all over my hand. Okay, half of a teaspoon of vinegar going into each jar. That was more than a half a teaspoon. I hope it's going to be okay. That one might be just a little bit more vinegary. Sometimes I'm not the best at measuring. I do know that recipes like this are a little bit more forgiving. And in the comments for this on YouTube, a lot of people said that it reminded them of Bush's beans, but better. And I do love Bush's baked beans. So I hope that these are just as yummy. And then we're going to do some brown sugar. And the brown sugar is brown sugar that we have made. I think it's more of a dark brown sugar than a light brown sugar, but the recipe did not specify. And how much salt do we need? A half a teaspoon of salt as well. I should have done the salt first. And so my half a teaspoon I used, but I've got another quarter, so we're going to do 2 of these in each jar. All right, you guys, now some brown sugar. And we need, how much brown sugar does it say? 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons into each jar. So let's go ahead and get our brown sugar on. All right, everybody, so I'm double checking my recipes. I've got pinto beans in here, ketchup, brown sugar, onion, vinegar, salt, and mustard. We need a 1-inch headspace. Before I pour my water in here, I've got this towel just wet with some water. I'm gonna go ahead and do a first wipe of these since I did get ketchup all over some of them, as well as brown sugar. We don't want any of that being in the way. I figure if I wipe this first, then it will be that much easier, especially when the jars are hot, because we are going to be putting water that was just about to the boiling point in them. And then, of course, I will go ahead and wipe them again with the vinegar. We'll go ahead and seal them up. We'll process them. I'm not going to bring you along for that process. I feel like we've done that enough in my Vlogmas today. So this is not a full how-to can video. It's just to show you guys what I'm up to today, what shenanigans I'm doing. And I have to tell you guys, I'm super happy for Vlogmas because of course I enjoy it and you guys have been amazing, but I'm also super happy because it has been forcing me to do some of the projects that I've been wanting to do anyway. So we need 1 cup in each of these, and 1-inch headspace is pretty much to the bottom. I am going to have to debubble these. If you're not familiar with that term, it means I need to stir everything around and make sure there's no air pockets in there. And I will double check my headspace and put my lids on. And I will be using my 4-jar lids. If you guys are interested in getting some canning lids with a discount, make sure you use my code down below. I love my 4 jars lids. And as you guys saw yesterday, the only lid that didn't seal for our Merry Christmas jam was actually a ball lid. So, is it a coincidence? I don't know, but that is the lid that didn't seal. All right, you guys, I'll go ahead and finish this up. I'll let you guys listen to some Christmas music, and I'll be back in a little bit.
Putting up trees and hanging lights, kids on the porch singing Silent Night. I just wanna be home for Christmas. A pile of presents under the tree, a house full of people who love me. I just wanna be home for Christmas. Those ties are strong and the love is deep. I wanna see my family and my good old friends. Wanna see them again. It's been some old friends and crack each other up like we're kids again. It's just good to be home for Christmas. We're gonna drive by the house where we grew up. That's such a little place, holds so much love. Just good to be home for Christmas. If the plans are full and can't catch a flight, my truck's running good, I can drive all night. I don't wanna be, no one ought to be alone tonight. I'm going home for Christmas, back to the ones I love, to the town where I grew up, where ties are strong and our love is deep.
Okay, everybody, this is going to be goodbye for today, but not forever, because we'll be back tomorrow. But I do want to show you guys what I've done to set myself up for success for tomorrow. I have got pinto beans and black beans that are soaking on the stove. They're going to soak for at least 12 hours. More than that, because I'm not getting up at 5 in the morning to can them. We have got our baked beans canning, and in 2 minutes I get to put the regulator on. One of the things I love about this electric canner is I can put that regulator on. Forget it. I can go to dinner with friends. We can go play some pool. We can have a lot of fun, and I'm still able to can while I'm not here. So super excited about that. I also got my jars washed up. I did 7 jars for the black beans, 7 jars for the pinto beans. I am going to try my hardest to start canning all of my own beans because they're super easy, super cheap, and why wouldn't you want to can your own if you can? And so that's it, you guys, for today's Vlogmas. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another busy day, even though you didn't see most of it. It was much slower paced than yesterday. Thanks, you guys, for sticking around and supporting me. And until I see you guys next time, which will be tomorrow, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.